This threw everything into a political conundrum, right? And there's a lot of questions now about the days and weeks ahead leading up to the Democratic National Convention. Joining me now is political analyst and attorney J.C. Polanco. So great to have you here on such an important night.
Thanks for having me.
So all 50 of the Democratic chairs have said, let's get behind Kamala Harris, right? We have delegates, though, like Mayor Eric Adams, who has not come out and thrown his support behind her yet. By the way, he was supposed to be here at this very moment, just canceled last minute. What happens in the days ahead?
Well, oh my goodness, all these things have happened in less than a month, right? Right now we're looking at, in just 30 days, the President of the United States bombs a debate. You have the Supreme Court giving almost absolute immunity to the former president. You have a situation here where the former president survives an assassination. You have the RNC convention come in. And the same day as it starts, the Florida District Court judge, Judge Cannon, throws out the Florida case. Dan, look at all of the things that happened in a month. And just today, the president says, I'm not running for re-election. We have seen how a month is an eternity in politics. Vice President Harris right now has to line up all her ducks in order. She has to get 2,000 delegates to support her before going in there. She's going to get 4,000 delegates supporting her before going in. The entire country is lining up. There is no way in the world that Vice President Harris doesn't get this nomination on lockdown by Tuesday morning.
Let's talk about history for a second. 50 years ago, Lyndon B. Johnson stepped aside, did not seek that second term, right? But that was before there were primaries, before people headed to the polls and cast their ballot for him and his running mate. So when you look at the country as a whole and those voters who have already cast their votes, those delegates are already pledged, what happens? That's
okay. It's not a problem. By the way, Lyndon Johnson actually said he wasn't running in March, not almost in July. So it's a whole different calculus. Remember, the delegates are elected in order to support a candidate. Yes, that's true. And President Biden won thousands of delegates during the primaries. Now, those delegates are coming into the convention, and he has told them, I want you to support Vice President Harris. They are within their legal right to support Vice President Harris. The nomination isn't official until the convention. So legally speaking, Dan, everything is absolutely fine. Yes, they supported President Biden, but they are his delegates. And if they're his delegates and he says, I want you to support Vice President Harris, she's made it clear she's going to go out there and earn all of those delegates to support.
And she said that tonight. She said, I want to go out there and I want to earn this, right? But there are names being floated as potential challengers to her, right? We just heard from Senator Joe Manchin, who may, according to some reports, run. Can you explain to the viewer at home how a delegate is chosen, what exactly that means, right? Mayor Adams is a delegate, so what are the backroom deals happening between now and the convention and how you get chosen in the first place?
Dan, backroom deals is so negative. Let's be positive. Right? I mean, delegates are elected, and they're normally very active Democrats locally. It's an honor for you to be selected in order to be a delegate to the convention. So yes, you'll see Mayor Adams, but there'll be a lot of other important Democratic players throughout New York that are delegates to the convention. There are also alternate delegates in the event that delegate can be there. So it's foolproof.
But for the Democrat right now and a delegate who has not come out and thrown their support immediately behind Kamala Harris, what is that saying about the unifying message of the party?
Well, I think you're going to see them unified. I think people are trying to take a page out of President Obama's book, which is there's a process, and they want to make sure that Vice President Harris earns the nomination. This is so important. Moving forward, you know, the whole country is going to say, yeah, President Biden won the primary. She's just being coronated. Well, what happens is that you'll have some delegates that are going to hold it very close before giving a formal endorsement, at least to give the appearance that there's going to be a process here, a campaign that's going on for their support. And that's what you saw with Mayor Adams tonight. He said, hey, listen, well, I want to hear it. There's a process, and we're going to follow the process. And I think it's in the vice president's interest to have delegates say, she says she's going to earn it. Let's see her earn it. That way, you're going to the convention with a unified Democratic Party, not a coronation. And that's what the country wants to see, especially, Dan, after you had such an exciting Republican National Convention just last week. The last thing you want to see is a well-organized Republican National Convention, and then the Democrats come in and it's just simply a coronation. So it's very important that some delegates, like the mayor, says, well, she says she's going to earn it. Let's make it happen.
Enthusiasm, by the way, with almost over $25 million already raised on day one, just hours after. J.C. Polanco, we're out of time, but great to have you here. I know